Namaste and welcome. This is Connecting with Reverend Cate. I'm Reverend Cate, and I like you and I love you. You're going to hear me say that often, and there are reasons. The first is that it's true. My ministry is very simple. It's unconditional love, unconditional acceptance for all existence. So I do like you and I do love you. What's more, I believe that the divine, the higher power that I choose to call by many names, including God, really wants me to share that with you because we can't hear it enough. And God is crazy about you and about me. So I like you and I love you. So now let me introduce me. I am an interfaith minister. I was ordained at the Tree of Life Seminary in Milford, New Hampshire. God bless you and your works, Reverend Stephanie Rutt, and all members of that community. I am also a Yoga Alliance certified mantra teacher, and that thanks goes to Raji Gretchen Carmel of the yoga space in Keene, New Hampshire. So thank you so much, Hari Om Raji, and all my blessings to that community. So I am going to say right off the bat that technical challenges may abound or not. Uh, and I just trust that you will bear with me. And I thank you already for tolerating me. This time that we spend together is really going to be based in four principles, one of which I've already shared with you. And that, of course, is that I like you and I love you. The second principle is, and this teaching comes via Liz Gilbert's book, Eat, Pray, Love, from Swami Muktananda. And what the Swami said is this: God dwells within you as you. I'm going to say that again. God dwells within you as you. As you. So what I am about is being my weird, wired, not really wired, wild, wacky, wonderful self in all my flaws. And I hope that that allows us to connect genuinely and authentically via this medium, and that it encourages you to be your wild, weird, wonderful, wacky, authentic self. So, the other teaching comes from many different sources. I think the Western terminology would be that we call that the love of attraction. As you reap, so shall you sow, so saith the Bible. The Nichiren Buddhists express it in the mantra Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, and there'll be more on that later, certainly more on mantra. And Jalad Rumi, the Sufi mystic poet, love Jalad Rumi. And by the way, if you're looking for a book to base my practices on, I recommend Mala of the Heart, which is edited by Jack Cornfield. If I ever found a faith, a formal faith, I think that'll be our basic text. At any rate, Jalad Rumi said that what you seek is seeking you. That quote has also been attributed to St. Francis of Assisi. What you seek is seeking you. And I don't care who said it, I'm down. I'm down with it all. And I'm here to help inform your seeking and your receiving of what your heart's desire is, and to do that with love. And then the other thing is that while I am trained in many disciplines, what I know is that the heart connects most rapidly, in my experience, via the medium of sound. In many of the creation stories, the Hindu, the Buddhist, and the Christian immediately come to mind. Sound is that principle that activates all existence. For the Hindus, the sound of Om, O-M, that's the syllable that contains all of creation. And, the Christians say that in the beginning there was the Word, and the Word was with God, and it was good. The Word is a sound, whether it is silent or aloud or whispered. And mantra can also be practiced silently, aloud, or whispered. And we'll talk a little bit about mantra in a moment. But I'm going to invite you, and this will be our our charge for this week to stay close to whatever sounds that make you happy to stay alive. That's from the Sufi mystic poet Hafiz. Stay close to whatever sounds make you happy to stay alive. So a word about me just as way of introduction. In future, our videos are going to be shorter than this. It's really going to focus on connection, practice, review, connection. All things begin and end with connection. But I am an interfaith minister. What I believe simply is that all paths to reach the divine, that power that is greater than thyself, whether that power is expressed in a formalized faith or with a given name, or it's just an internal nameless knowing, I support that. It's all valid. And I use the teachings, this is also in keeping with interfaith, that really resonate with me. And I'm going to encourage you to explore what resonates with you as well. So, that's the first thing. The second thing is that I am a substance use disorder professional, and I take this teaching. It really gave me the name Connecting with Reverend Cate. And incidentally, my email, if you don't already know it, is connectwithreverendcate@gmail.com. Cate is spelled C as in cat, so it's like cat with an E, Cate. Connectwithreverendcate@gmail.com. And going back then to this notion of connection, Johann Hari said that the opposite of addiction is not sobriety. It's not even recovery. What it is connection. What happens when you and I connect, or when we connect with something that does us no harm, is we find joy or peace or solace, comfort, inspiration, all of those things. So I want you to know that I am eager to connect with you and to inspire your connections. That's what it's all about. So, moving along then. I'm going to sing things, I'm going to chant things, and we're going to share silence in future. So strap in. It's always a bit of a surprise. I make a plan and then we see what happens, right? Because God laughs at my plans, which is probably okay. Oh, one other word about connection. I am a post-acute COVID survivor, and I will say this. I'm almost out of the woods. I'm getting close. Not there yet, but I'm enjoying the journey. And one thing that literally kept me alive, that kept me mentally sound, is the support systems that I connect with. And so I thank those people, specifically Cindy and Tracy. I will connect you with Uniquely Useful, with Tracy T, that's her ministry, Keith Howard, the director of the Hope Center, and my dear sister Stephanie, and of course my brother Chris, and the rest of my family. Connection is really what's helped me survive, and it's what led me to make this ministry. So without further ado, let's think together for a moment. Maybe come up with one sound that makes you happy that you are alive. I'll give you two. The first comes from Steel Pulse. I love reggae music, and it says, chant a psalm a day, chant, chant, chant a psalm a day. Feel free to chant a psalm a day. The other comes from Bob Marley, and he said, one good thing about music, when it hits, you feel no pain. Hit me with music. Yeah, hit me with music, baby. Hit me with sound. So we'll start with the first sound practice. It's the Hindu syllable Om. It's spelled O-M, and it has a cute little sort of three with a hat and a tail on it. That's what it looks like in Sanskrit. And Sanskrit is an energetic language. So when we use Sanskrit, what we're doing is we're actually accessing the energy of the language, and we're using that to transform our internal energy, and also to grab energy from the near surround, from like-minded people. And from my belief system, whenever we say something that has been said intentionally by many other beings for good, we are also availing ourselves of all of that energy. But we're going to start with Om. So very simple. It goes like this. It's a three-part sound. So let's just take a couple of nice centering breaths. If you've studied with me before, you'll know that I'm about to use a meditative practice. I love Edgar Cayce products. I usually use rose water. This lavender water is also great. And let's just do a couple of nice deep breaths. So really not allowing that breath to come in to the belly and then up through the rib cage into the throat and to manifest itself as sound. Just letting go for a few seconds of whatever it is that we have to do right now and focusing it entirely on the sound Om. I'll do 2 rounds. I'll do a shorter Om and then I'll do an elongated Om, and you can use whichever you'd like. So here we go. 3 rounds of Om. Good, good. Take a moment to feel that. Take a little sip of water. Feel free to hydrate for a moment. And now we're going to do the elongated expression. And so just a point of study or reference, the sound Om is said to contain every aspect of infinity and all creation. And it is reputed, this has certainly been my experience and the experience of the students that I have worked with based on their testimonies, that it both energizes and relaxes. So here we go, 3 long Oms. Nice breath in. Out, and again, one more. And now we just sit for a few moments in the echo of the mantra. Excellent. I love you so much. Thank you for joining me. So, to follow up for this week, stay close to whatever sounds that make you glad you are alive. I'm going to invite you to do that and just notice how sound registers. Notice specifically what it does to your emotion. And as a little preview, I have a musical emotional toolkit, playlists that are prescribed for different emotional states. So more on that later. And say the Om. You know, if you would like to do a formal practice, you could say maybe 9 rounds of Om in the morning. And if you want to do a twofer, you could add 9 rounds at bedtime. Remember, the syllable can be chanted aloud, it can be chanted silently, or you can whisper it with your lips using sound or not using sound, and just see what it brings for you. So, it's been my distinct joy and pleasure to be with you today. And I want to remind you that you have been connecting with Reverend Cate. I like you and I love you. God dwells within you as you, and what you seek is seeking you. And it's my distinct honor and joy to be part of your process. So I like you and I love you. Namaste.